travelers of time and thought. You're listening to Artcast, the podcast that explores the edges of reality, memory, and multidimensional truth. In this special series titled Quantum Time Travel and the Butterfly Effect, we'll dive into the mysteries of nonlinear time, quantum entanglement, and how even the smallest change in the past could echo across futures we haven't imagined yet. Whether you're a seasoned seeker or just curious about how the quantum universe might bend around your consciousness, you're in the right timeline.
No one saw it before, not because it was hidden, but because they hadn't earned the perspective yet. Rising from the apex of the space elevator, the CLIT tower unfurls like a blooming column of memory light, humming in tonal fractals. It's not built. It grows, extruding itself through accumulated storyline resonance. Inside, suspended in gravitational stillness, arc glyphs from pre-written books, memory shards of early crew interactions, four-dimensional lattice work with rotational echoes of timelines never chosen. It does not rise by thrusters. It stands because it's remembered. Key developments: harmonic light tower structure. Formed through internarrative memory alignment, the CLIT tower is made of encoded glyph light, only visible after enough story gravity is achieved. Rotational memory lattices. Interior sequences spin to match the reader's timeline path, offering glimpses of parallel outcomes and crew potentialities. Visual input consequence. Trigger. Ego-based contact reorients sensory alignment. You begin to see others' futures clearly, but your own becomes unreadable. Major conflict or decision survivors must choose whether to approach the CLIT tower with humility and intent, or allow ambition or desperation to drive interaction. Entering with reverence unlocks the first portal's visualization chamber, showing harmonized glimpses of true arc completion and ascension arcs. Touching it with ego flips visual input. Users become seers of others' destinies while losing access to their own timeline clarity, trapped in predictive blindness. A rare phenomenon begins across the marshy plains of the lower arc decks. Hundreds of CLITs, chrono-locked interdimensional tents, begin to synchronize. Their inner cores vibrate in rhythmic pulses, forming concentric spirals of glowing intent. Say Tony A., never one to miss a spectacle, grabs a microphone and starts narrating like it's the opening ceremony of the Interdimensional Olympics, complete with speculative commentary on which CLIT will win Best Glow in a supporting timeline. Alt. Tony climbs a rooftop and rebrands the whole event as the CLIT Line Alignment Special, live-streamed across 14 channels, complete with pay-per-view satellite commentary and merchandise, including a t-shirt saying, "My arc aligned and all I got was this lousy timeline." Meanwhile, Blah floats above the synchronized field, humming the Book 4 ending theme and painting a giant smiley face on the largest CLIT with luminous jam. He doesn't explain where he got it. Key developments arise as perfect CLIT harmonics bridge multiple dimensional threads, while interruption during alignment can cause CLIT desync, spawning timeline echoes filled with tea, apologies, and long pauses. Say Tony A.'s comedic narration is now embedded into the resonance of the pulses, humorously echoing Tony across all languages and intentions. The crew must decide whether to mock the alignment, which still completes the harmonic convergence, but makes every arc chapter echo faintly with the word Tony. Attempting to censor the moment collapses the alignment and spawns echo timelines featuring awkward tea ceremonies. The correct answer is rarely silence, but here it might just be jam.
The Ark of Reimagined Echoes by Nadastrol. Read free on Amazon now.
Far beneath the floating CLIT tents, stretched across orbit like mythic wheat fields, lies the rower fields. Thousands of beings, humans, beasts, blahs, hybrids, and ghosts of timelines past, sit in staggered formation. Each grips a quantum oar. None move forward. They row in place, they row in silence. Because they are not rowing to move, they are rowing to generate harmonic momentum for the final narrative splice. Every stroke pulls threads from books 1 through 11, folding time into kinetic light. Their rhythm generates dimensional thrust, powering the metaphysical ignition that determines which Book 12 portal will open. Above them, the arc vibrates slightly. Below them, timelines begin to braid. Key Development's narrative thrust engine activated. The rowing acts as a metaphysical generator, propelling consciousness toward the next major narrative branch, multi-species, synchronization, blahs row with vine-like precision, hybrids ripple through plasma rhythms. Gabriella notes that one rower's breath syncs with Book 4's heartbeat. Oars of timeline memory. Each oar contains inscriptions from one of the 11 books. Rowing is both propulsion and remembrance. Major conflict or decision. The choice is deeply personal and metaphysically binding. Join the row, surrender ego, synchronize with the collective motion, and become the current, gaining the ability to select your Book 12 entry portal. Refuse to row, preserve autonomy, but sacrifice timeline fluidity. You become a stage observer only, conscious, but locked out of participation until the next dimensional reset. Tony hesitates, then joins, realizing that even free will requires rhythm. Say Tony A steps into the command pulpit, a rotating glass monolith that rises from the Ark's crystalline spine. Inside, a massive orbital lens scans across all dimensions. What he sees is choreography, the glowing CLIT network, pulsing in patterns shaped like punchlines, the synchronized quantum rowers powering metaphysical buoyancy, the flickering stars blinking out phrases like yes and this is canon now in Morse code. Suddenly, he screams, "Can you see what they are all doing?" Tony A exclaims, surprised. Alt Tony, from behind the lens console and wearing opera gloves, answers, "They're finishing what you started," Alt Tony says, calm and knowing. As if on cue, Blah floats through the rafters in a top hat and aquatic cape, conducting a full-scale musical titled Row Me Another Timeline, featuring interpretive swimming, harmonic paddling, and a gospel solo by the Nautilus Choir of Regret. Key developments. Ascension Lens Protocol. A final narrative scan reveals all plot lines moving toward one convergence, the CLIT-powered harmonic loop. Interpretive musical absurdity. Blah unlocks latent dimension threading through synchronized singing and splash dancing. Starfield transmission sequence. Every flickering constellation becomes a line of Book 12's prologue, visible only through the rhythm of realization. Major conflict or decision. Laugh and accept the absurdity. This completes the Ascension harmony grid, perfectly syncing every absurd, sacred, chaotic, and mathematical element of the Ark. The first portal to Book 12 opens, glowing like a sarcastic halo. Deny it, or take it too seriously. You trigger the blind watcher paradox, gaining access to every other character's choices, but losing visibility of your own. Your journey becomes a loop of untraceable impact.
Thank you for walking with us through the folds of time. If this episode sparked new thoughts or rewrote a few old ones, please consider liking, sharing, and leaving a review wherever you listen to podcasts. Your engagement helps keep the signal strong and the Ark aligned. You can find full episodes, bonus material, and timeline diagrams at arkofalignments.com. Until next time, remember, the future doesn't wait. It listens.